Every week, it's another city for me. I get asked the same questions every week by people. Are people the same everywhere? No. Some places suck and they have shittier people. I just gave you a sociology degree. How about that? You like that? Here's one universal truth about people, though. This one is true, and that is that everybody just wants to connect. It doesn't matter where you go or what language you speak. People just want to connect. And you know when you have chemistry with somebody. You know if you're like, I want to hang out with this person, or I want to date this person, or I want to harness this person to the bottom of my big rig and drive them around for a while and bury them 18 miles west of Lake Worth, and when I drive by, I'll get a boner. We all have these thoughts, right? Sometimes there's nothing there, and people try to force a connection. I think that's just rude. I'm checking in a hotel a few weeks ago. The guy comes from behind the counter. He goes, where are you from? I said, Los Angeles. And he goes, yeah, I got family in Denver. And I was like, what a coincidence. And he goes, yeah, they got a furniture store. And I was like, I like to sit on furniture. We're 2 for 2. I have shoes on. Do you have shoes on? Do you like to walk around? Let's fucking party. There's nothing there. Sometimes there's nothing there, and that's okay. You're not supposed to connect with everybody on the planet. That would be absurd. You should embrace that. I've been doing this. You should do this too. Next time you're at a bar or you're just out walking around and somebody goes, hey man, just go, nope. I'm all friended up. And if they're like, I just want to know what time it is, be like, I only tell my friends what time it is. You'll feel like a dick, but then you get over it real quick. I feel like no matter where I go, 10 times a day, I find myself asking myself this question. I find myself going like, hey man, is anybody else seeing this shit right now? Have I stepped into a parallel fucking universe or something? Like, I went to buy a coffee just a few weeks ago from a coffee place. Just so there's no confusion, I didn't go to a shoe store, I went to a coffee place, okay? I go up to the lady behind the counter and I go, can I have a coffee? And she goes, well, we have a special promotion. And today for $2, you can get this drink and it has vanilla and there's whipped cream and there's sprinkles on it. And I was like, that's cool. I don't want that. May I have a coffee? And she goes, it's the last day of this special promotion. And I was like, oh, I think I understand the full scope of the promotion. May I have a coffee? And she's like, you're a fucking loser. Here's the thing, this woman was enormous, okay? She was cute. She looked like 4 people melted into one. So I was like, you know what? You're super fat. You know when shit tastes good. Hook that shit up. I want to try it, right? And she goes, it's $2. And I go, all right. And then I extended at 20, and she goes, And I go, I'm sorry? And she goes, I don't have the change for that. And I was like, oh, so what do you want to do now? Are you saying I have too much money to shop here? And she goes, we just can't handle it. And I was like, handle it. It's a 20. Like, I didn't put the Hope Diamond on the counter and go, figure it out, stupid. Like, it's reasonable, right? And she was just all shoulders, like, oh. I go, nothing? You have no solution? And she goes, do you still want coffee? I'm like, yeah, that part's never changed. That's why I'm here. And I go, you can't resolve this at all. And she goes, you could ask somebody else for change. And I go, another customer in line? And she goes, yeah. And I go, what about the box with buttons in front of you? So I turn around to the line of people and I go, excuse me, do any of you guys have change? Everybody was like, oh, you fucking asshole. Like, you're at the place to get change. You're right there. But then this one Arab guy, and I'm not saying that means anything, but he was, so why leave it out of the story? He goes, I have everything. And I was like, oh. And then he opened his attaché, and he had every denomination of every currency. Like where I could go, I want one of those, I want one of those, I want one of those. He was like, yes, yes, yes. Now enjoy your pussy drink. And I was like, okay, all right. And I want you to know something. I drank that pussy drink, and that's the best shit I've ever had in my entire life. Pussy drinks forever. I'm not sure that's what they're called, so take your chances. But it would be cool if you went to a Starbucks tomorrow and you're like, can I get a pussy drink? And they're like, I think I know what you want. Hold on a second.
Hotels are weird. I'm gonna reiterate. I'm on the road all the time, and sometimes I stay in nice ones. I'll tell you where later. That's nothing to do with me. But sometimes I'll wind up in shitholes. I was in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and I love it up there. But I stayed in this really old hotel / casino, super run down and full of ghosts. And then I made it worse by clogging the toilet. Yeah, nothing makes you feel worse about yourself, you guys, than clogging a toilet. Because that's even a toilet going, nah, I'm good. You're gonna have to figure something else out, you fat fuck. And I'm like, fuck you, toilet. Your only job as a toilet is to gulp down all my turds. No questions asked. But somehow I was able to create a shit so heinous, made this particular toilet draw an invisible line in the sand. He's like, thou shalt not pass. I'm like, fuck you, toilet. Because if I'm at home and I ruin a toilet, and I have, look at me. I fucking destroyed toilets. My body was built to do damage to toilets. At home, I have a plunger. I have more than one bathroom, so I have more than one plunger. That's the worst brag ever. I'm doing pretty good, you guys. I got a couple of plungers. What a dick. But since I'm in Edmonton, Alberta, I now have to involve total strangers. Didn't have my plunger. Should travel with it. Because I had to call downstairs and involve this woman in my drama upstairs. So I do. I go, hey, clog the toilet. And I didn't smile in real life. I'm pretty sure I shed a tear at the end of that sentence. And then, true story, I made a simple request. All I said to her after that, I go, hey, could you please send a dude up? Should have been way more specific. Because that's all she did, is send a dude up. Not a dude with a plunger, or a plan, or a fucking idea. Just a dude. I swear to God, he just showed up and looked at it and went, yup, that's gross. And left. He just checked it out and went, sure enough, nasty, later. Like he was just doing shit recon or something. Like he reported to a superior officer downstairs. He's like, sir, that toilet is FUBAR, sir. So now I'm sitting with a FUBAR toilet, and I'm like, well, we only gotta be here 2 more days. Might as well name you. How about Old Turdy Bastard? I love 90s hip hop. So me and Big Baby Shittus are sitting there, and there's a knock at the door. Another dude is there now. Like the first guy quit, I guess, right? Like that's all I could figure out. I think he went downstairs and went, fuck this, another fat ass from LA fucking clogged our toilet. Meh. Throws the keys on the table, but they're still attached to his pants. So he's like, I took some steam out of that. Second guy knows why he's there. He's got a plunger. I'm so relieved. But you will not believe what he said to me. I still can't believe it. He looks at me and goes, where is it? Right? Where is it? Where the fuck do you think it is, dude? Go back. What'd she tell you I clogged? Want to make a game of this? I love games. We'll get my dungeon master on the horn and he'll send us on the quest for the troll's turds. So I get depressed is my point.
My father was a doctor, which means I was a hypochondriac. How else are you going to get their attention? Now, am I going to tell? Okay, let's do it. When you grow up with a dad who's a doctor, you have access to other doctors. And, well, here's the story. I was at college. I was a sophomore in college. And somewhere about a month or so before Christmas break, I decided that I had MS. So I started calling my father. I'm like, Dad, I have MS. And he's like, you don't have MS. I'm like, how do you know? How do you know? You haven't examined me? I don't know how you would know that. He goes, I know you don't have MS. He goes, what are your symptoms? I'm like, I don't know. My hands are tingly. He's like, you don't have MS. Are you drinking coffee? I'm like, I drink coffee. It's probably coffee. He's like, no, I have MS. And then, okay. So he hangs up. And then like a couple weeks later, I call him up. I'm like, I have MS. I still have MS. He's like, you don't have MS. And then that ends that conversation. Then like a week before, a week before, I call him up and I'm like, Dad, I have prostate cancer. I have prostate cancer. He goes, how do you know? It's like, I don't know. It hurts down by my balls and stuff. And I think I have prostate cancer. It kind of hurts on my butt cheeks and stuff. And he's like, you don't have prostate cancer. I'm like, I do. And then I called him every day for a week. Just like, I have prostate cancer. I have prostate cancer. It's like, you're too young for prostate cancer. I know I have it. So I get off the plane when I go home. It's like 6 or 7 at night. And my father says, we're going to Bob Rosen's house to get you examined. This is a urologist friend of his. So he's taking me to a man's house to be examined for prostate cancer. So he picks me up at the airport. He's like, no, we're going now. I'm like, I don't think that's, why can't I just go to his office? No, you have prostate cancer. We're going to go now. So we drive to this guy's house, who he doesn't know we're coming. So we walk up to the door. My father knocks on the door, and Bob literally is like, he shows up, he's got a napkin, he's wiping his mouth. I see his family's at the dinner table. My father goes, my son thinks he has prostate cancer. Can you take a look? And Bob's like, I don't know. What do you mean? He's, well, come on in. And then he goes back to the table. He puts a napkin down. And then he walks me and my father into his bedroom. And we're all standing there. I'm like, this in any other situation would be illegal. Whatever's happening, whatever's about to happen, this is bad. And thank God Bob says, you know what, you should probably come to the office. I don't think this is the place to do this. And my father's like, are you sure? Is that all right with you, kid? I'm like, yeah, it's probably better. All right. So Bob didn't finger bang me in his bedroom. With my father watching, nonetheless. So this is how I cured my hypochondria. So I go to Bob's office. Does the horrible examination. It's very different. It's, you know, when you're a man, this is, I know women have their thing, but I'm not a woman. I know that as a dude, I got to go in and get finger banged by a guy, you know, once a year in a clinical way. But it's always awkward. It's never a pleasant situation. The most awkward part about it is like you get to a certain age where it's about to happen, and it goes in, and you're like, oh, I kind of get this. Wait, I'm not changing my life. So, but. It does seem to do something. But okay, so he gives me the examination, and then he diagnoses. It's really hard. I don't want to go into it. It's too. But he does the examination. Turns out I had something. Huh? Yay! I had some sort of prostatitis, which my dad gets to. It's some sort of sensitive to it or what. So I had something. Great. I was right. Now, what happens next is a week later it's supposed to be gone, but I still feel it, right? So I go into Bob's office, and I go, I think I still have it. He goes, no, you've been on antibiotics for 12 days. It's gone. I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure that I have it still. He's like, no, you don't have it. I'm like, I don't know. He goes, you want me to examine you again? If you have to. So he does it again. I do it again. I get finger banged by Bob Rosen again. Twice. Okay. So now, like, Another week goes by. I'm about to go back to school, and I decide I have herpes on my cock. Now, the irony of this is I had not had sex. I'd somehow gotten it from something. It was a unique case. So sadly, I probably just I probably just jerked off too hard. That was the sad part about it. All right, anyways. Look, I didn't want to do this story. All right, so now I got to go back to Bob Rosen. So this is I've been at his house. I've been finger banged by him twice. And now a week later, I'm going back with herpes that isn't even there. So I go into Bob's office and I go, he's like, what's up? And I'm like, I'm pretty sure I got herpes. Have you had sex recently? No, I've never had it. Then how do you think you have? I just think I have herpes. And so he goes, all right, take your pants down. So I take my pants down, and he sits down. He rolls up one of those chairs, and he's got my cock in his hand. He's holding my cock. And he looks at it, and he goes, there's nothing here, Mark. Do you like coming here? And that ended my hypochondriacal period. That was the end of that. Nip that in the bud.
How many grew up poor? Did you guys? Yeah. Because, I was in there. I was in there too long, I was just in my mind. I got to get out of here. That's what you do. Man, 10 kids. I was 10th. Then they had another one. I guess they were trying to get it right. Grew up very poor. Didn't have money. You had to pick a lot of times what we were going to shut off, the lights or the gas. Usually we'd shut off the lights because my mom had 1,000 candles she stole from the church. We'd have a seance in the afternoon. Join hands. One time she brought a menorah in, all 7 candles lit. I don't think that's right, Ma. It's okay, I know some Jews, Louis. We were so poor one time, I didn't have any money to get my mom a birthday gift, and I wrote a coupon book. I'll wash the dishes. I'll do the laundry. I'll kill Dad for you. Louis, that was a very sweet gift. But one of those coupon books, they were inappropriate. What, the dishes one? No. What? You wouldn't really kill your father, would you? I'd do it for you, Ma. There's no expiration date on that coupon. Thank you. It's true, I used to get so mad at my dad, I inherited things from him, though. You inherited, no money. I inherited this sound from him. I inherited this disapproving look. This sound. Ha! I inherited this from my mom. Oh. You all right, Mom? I guess. My mom was real passive-aggressive. She was very funny, though. You'd park somewhere, and she'd go, oh, are you gonna park here? Well, I could try and get closer. Oh, it's okay. I guess I could walk from here. And my dad, he didn't really like people. My dad was like, I hate that guy. Somebody would come in and go, I hate that guy. Do you know him? I don't need to know him to hate him. Wow, I love my parents. I miss them, I don't want them back, don't get me wrong.
See, I'm like first generation, but my parents, they're like -9 generation because they're so freaking Chinese. Like, it's really hard for me to watch TV with my dad because he's trying to make me explain everything to him. And first of all Asian people, they don't watch TV, they judge the TV. This is like, I'm just sitting next to my dad on the couch, and he's wearing his like old Asian man costume, which is just a wife beater and tidy whities. He just sitting there, arms folded, judging the TV like. He just makes random noises around the house. And he trying to make me explain everything to him on TV. Do you understand how difficult it is to explain a rap music video to an old Chinese man? We're just sitting there, and my dad was like, Jimmy, what I mean when he say Lamborghini Mercy, or what's that? And I'm like, Dad, he's bragging about his car. It's a Lamborghini Murcielago, very expensive car. You know what that is, right? And he's like, oh, okay, yes. That's when you know they have no idea what the fuck you just said. It's like, okay, yes, a Lamborghini, okay. Jimmy, what does he mean when he say, your chick, she's so thirsty, or what's that? And I was like, shit. Dad, he's making fun of somebody's girlfriend, okay? Saying like she likes attention from other guys and she likes to do sex stuff with them. You know, like blowjobs and such. And he's like, oh, okay, yes. Blowjobs, okay. Jimmy, I'm thirsty too, okay? So I was like, oh, God, no. Got lost in translation.
All of us have moments, my God. And all of us, everybody here has at least 10 thoughts an hour or a minute that would get you fired. Because that's what it is to be a human being, man. Sometimes you just want to say something appalling just because you're not allowed to. You ever do that? When you're with your friend, you're like, man, and your friend's like, dude, and you're like, I know. I've said things in my own home to my wife in fights that were just appalling, okay? But everybody knows that's what happens when you share a roof with somebody. When you have an argument with somebody and they know every detail about you, they just can get you when you're trying to have arguments. My wife's, she's a bad person. Dude, she's a nasty fighter, and I'm trying to explain myself. I'm trying to stick to the ground rules and not freak out and burn down the whole fucking house. And I'm trying to keep myself calm and explain my point of view, and she'll start looking at me like I'm an exotic zoo animal. She'll look at me and go, wow, you're still talking. Oh my God, that's amazing. I'm like, I'll do the jail time right fucking now. I don't believe in domestic violence. I don't even think it's funny, man. But a little domestic roughness. I'm not asking for a lot, but if I could pull your face off your face. Feels so good in this area. But you can't do that, so then what you do is I end up turning the aggression back on myself because I don't know where else to go. You ever get so crazy and angry at somebody that it would be worth dying at them? Like you want to make them, it'd be worth making them sad like them. You don't know what to do. You want to take a knife and stick it in your fucking temple? It'd be worth a half second of her going, no, like, miss me now, bitch, and just die. I know. I think some people have been there. Listen, we had a blowout fight, and I couldn't finish the argument because I had to catch a plane, which is the worst. A blowout. And I was like, no, you're mischaracterizing what I'm saying as usual. God damn it. I'm sending you 15 texts, and you better read all 15 of them. And she just looks at me and she goes, where are you going? Where am I going? I gotta catch a plane, obviously, so I can pay for all this shit. You're welcome. And she's an assassin. She's an assassin. She doesn't move, and she just goes, well, have a great flight. Have a great flight? Yeah? You know what? I beg God. I ask. I implore him to take my plane and drive it right into the fucking ground. And she's like, don't say that. Don't do that. Why? That's way better than this bullshit. And know that as my plane is careening to the ground, no, I will be smiling, number one. And number two, if I'm sitting anywhere near a woman, I swear on my life. I know. Yeah. We're in therapy. But here's the point.